Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Entrepreneur Middle East. We're here in Emirates Towers in the beautiful offices of DarGlobal. And with me is an extremely special guest today, is the CEO of DarGlobal, Ziad El Chaar. Such a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for the warm welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
How are you doing today? How was your day?
Excellent. Excellent. Yourself?
It's Friday. I mean, we're all happy on a Friday, right?
We're on 007.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Nothing to do with James Bond. It's 0 to 0, 7 days a week. This is how we operate.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Take that however you want, guys. So tell me a little bit, obviously, about the real estate sector here. Dubai is wild at the moment. We have luxury brands, global buyers that are here, record-breaking deals. How does it feel, riding that wave and being at the top of things here?
So definitely, I started my real estate career in Dubai, and I'm very comfortable and happy to talk on behalf of Dubai. But we're also a global company. We are in six countries, in 8 cities around the globe. Definitely, Dubai will always be an anchor and a model for cities that built in that short period of time, not just real estate, but a full ecosystem for expatriates and second homes and vacation homes and entertainment and investment and services. What we saw in Dubai is a model that we can actually take to the globe because it's a successful model. I started here. We were going still on roadshows, telling people how to pronounce the word Dubai. This is how it started, because the law of freehold in Dubai started in 2002, and the first projects were launched in 2003. So all what you see around you is 21 years old. This is it. So many times people will tell me, Ziad, maybe we don't like the marble here. Maybe we don't like this road here. I said, guys, I'm sorry, we're going too fast. Sometimes when you're going too fast, you get a speeding ticket. Right. So give us a speeding ticket and let us continue.
Learn how to walk before you can run, right?
This is the strength of what you have here. It's only 21 years. And in the life of some European cities, 21 years is time you need to get a permit.
Exactly. Bureaucratically, it's much, much slower. Tell me, what initially drew you to real estate?
This is
take us back
a bit philosophical, a bit capitalist, but when you think of real estate, you go back to the basics, and the basics is the pyramid of needs. And in the basic need that we have after breathing and food is our house.
A roof above our head.
Exactly. So first of all, it's a category that is part of our needs. We cannot live without real estate.
Right.
The second part is getting attracted to what we have in the GCC, because real estate is a vehicle to build a country and to build a city. So we're not just real estate developers selling villas and apartments. We are actually assisting and helping to create a destination. And with what we are building and bringing investments to every country, we are a big part of the FDI. So it's not just concrete and steel. We're part of destinations. We're part of the FDI, of that bigger economy in every country in which the GCC is today pushing that agenda.
Right.
Definitely, it goes to say that people will say I'm biased, but over the 100 years, if we want to assess what was the best store of value as an asset, no matter how we make our calculations, real estate will always win
number one
as the best store of value. It's a store of value. It's timeless. It's a legacy.
Right.
So when you add all of these, I'm trying to convince my daughter to get into real estate.
Right.
Every person I meet, I try to convince to get into real estate.
Right. But personally, that means you saw value back in the days when you just started it all. I
did not start in real estate, but I was always researching of what will give me all of these elements to be part bigger than the product that you are selling.
Right.
To be a timeless store of value, and to maintain the fact that you are a necessity. You're a need and not a want.
I see. Now, I did read in your previous interviews that you go by the principle of do my job, improve my job, teach my job. So I wanted to get into a little bit of your leadership style, let's say, and how did this motto that you've had throughout your life impact, let's say, the people around you in your career?
Sure. So in life, you have two types of people, at least in the business life. You have the founders, the mavericks who start companies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the people who work for these people in different capacities. And I had the pleasure of working of some of the biggest mavericks in the Arab world. They are the founders, they are the risk takers. Their legacy
The
is
entrepreneurs.
their legacy is what they have created. And definitely their legacy is whom did they select to take that trip with them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are part of that trip, you did not start that trip like the person you have on the cover here, Mr. Muhammad Al Abbar. What will be your legacy? Your legacy is only the people that you work with, the people that you hire, the people that you educate, the people that you teach, the people that you promote, and you have a certain effect on their life.
100%.
Their life is better because of you. So, as a legacy of, let me say that as an employee, even I'm a CEO, but still an employee employed by a company, by a founder, by a maverick, maintaining that entrepreneurial spirit within
Right.
my employment, but still being employed. My input and legacy is the people that I find to work for these companies, how we help them to improve what they are doing so that they can advance in their life and consequently advance the company they're working for, and teaching them how to advance further, thereby getting promoted, getting bigger in life, building families, becoming more comfortable. So that idea of doing your job, improving your job, and teaching your job is the best legacy an employee can have.
100%. And I think every employee should always know that they should never be the smartest person in the room, right? And it's a constant learning curve for everyone, no matter what sector or industry you're in.
You can't.
Right?
You can't. You can't. I have sometimes problems with our PR and communication department when I say, I want to go out and say publicly, we are not the best. And they say, no, 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 no. Everybody else is saying they are the best.
But you have to say we're better than the rest.
No, 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 no. We will never do that. And I'm happy to always say we're not the best because the best is not a claim. The best is a journey.
And perfection doesn't
And you
exist,
have to,
right?
exactly, and you have to continuously improve. But you look at the advertising we have today, everybody is claiming they are the best.
It's a Dubai blingy lifestyle, right? That you have to input.
It's not only Dubai, it's part
Everywhere.
of that industry that people would like to go out and say, I am the best.
Yeah, we're buying properties from the best. Now, you've obviously held leadership roles in industry giants. You know, you've just mentioned Amar, Damak, Dar Al Arkan. What are some, let's say, pivotal lessons that you've taken along the way that, you know, today you can tell your daughter about, let's say?
You see, the successful companies, some of them help to co-found or build new divisions in them or work under the leadership of great mavericks, is a continuous focus on three main elements. No matter what's happening in the company, you need to have always a biblical focus on number one, cash flow. Number two, your revenue. Number three, your talent. You take these as your focus.
The formula.
Not only once per month during the XCOM meeting, every single day in the morning, you'll always win.
I see. So it's taking all those key values along the way. Most of it is finance, though, in numbers, right?
No, but talent is people.
Right.
It's the people who will build companies. We don't have yet machines to build companies. Maybe we'll have.
One day.
We don't have yet machines to build.
Do you think it's important to train these employees well?
You cannot say I'm committed to talent just by hiring them. You have to hire them, you have to train them, you have to educate them, you have to invest in their knowledge, you have to support their mistakes because they will make mistakes.
Right, right. Oh, I have to congratulate you. DarGlobal has now been listed on the London Stock Exchange.
Thank you.
$6 billion in projects under development. What does this milestone mean to you? I have to ask you.
You see, when you list on such a global stock exchange, one of the most regulated stock exchange, then you are indicating to the world that you're going global. At the same time, you are indicating to your shareholders, to your investors, and to your people that you will uphold some of the world-class levels of transparency and governance, which consequently bring you more shareholders, more investors, and more funding partners, and will allow you to do much more collaborations at the global level because you have a global setup.
Right. And you did mention that you want to reach, the top 50 worldwide developers in the next decade. How close are you to reaching that target?
You see, to get into that level, you need to do around $3 billion of revenue
Per year?
every year. So we are at 1/3 now.
Achievable?
We are at 1/3 in 4 years. So this is a good milestone. And in real estate, it snowballs. The start is always hard to get the teams, to build the companies, to get the permits, and then it will snowball. So we're still keeping our target as being one of the top 50 global players outside China, because in China you have internally giants, and we are relying very much on some strategies that will give you quick wins. Like we utilized co-branding because co-branding helped us to enter new markets where we are not known. So we used the help of some brands that are well known in those areas to gain a quicker access.
Right.
We focused on projects which will give you a quicker revenue. So when you focus on global cities and gateway cities, you get demand from a very big number of nationalities. So it means your demand is diversified and grows quicker.
Right. When you did mention co-branding, obviously there's Lamborghini, there's Trump. Tell me a little bit about, all of these co-brandships. Why do you think branded residences in general is something that is becoming so popular these days? Is it because of, as you've said, entering new markets is just the easiest way to do it? Or do you think there's, more value behind that?
I'll have to take you back.
Let's go.
Most probably you were in kindergarten at that time.
Tell me the year.
2000.
I was 1 year old.
See?
I was alive. Well off.
So when our life moved from private to public around the year 2000, with the opening up of social channels, we started having the urge to show off and showcase our possessions and showcase our lifestyle. And consequently, the possession of limited editions became more and more important because I am able to showcase that and brag about it, not only to my family, but to my friends and for everybody who's following me on Instagram.
Right.
So with limited editions came first the cars, the shoes, the bags, the jewelry, the watches. So we looked at that market and said, okay, how can we do the limited edition of real estate? And we said that the best way to do it is to do with co-brands because we can limit the number of co-branded units.
So it's something that started a while ago.
The first co-branded project, I think, was launched by the late Gianni Versace before he died. He was a pioneer of co-branding. He saw how to bridge fashion to real estate.
Right.
And then it didn't continue a lot till we started, I think Armani did the second project. They started with hospitality. Then we took it into residential. But it's also very important when you are talking about co-branding. Not everything works. Not everything has value. Not everything is timeless. If you're unable to chisel the brand, the DNA of the brand, and put that DNA into the real estate project, then you don't have a real project. You have like something which you stamped.
Right.
Like the fake brands sometimes you see.
And the designer hasn't even spent 1 minute being inside the building or designing the details or anything.
Exactly. And many times the designer doesn't have anything to present to interiors, to real estate.
Because he has his own team that does these things separately, right?
No, Unfortunately, Nina, many brands are engaging in real estate who don't have, for example, a line of interiors. Like with all of the companies we've worked with, they already are in interiors. They have a lot, they've thought about how to extend their brand into furniture and accessories and hospitality. Then we went and appealed to those people. Even brands who are not there, they come and say, we want to do co-branding with you. So stop. First, we'll have to build your brand in interiors as a lifestyle. Then we take you to real estate.
Right.
Because it's like doing a real estate project with a celebrity. It's just a stamp. This is not timeless.
That you bring to your event eventually in the open.
It's just a stamp. And unfortunately, in the last 3 to 4 years, we've seen some co-branding examples that don't stand up to that level. Even now, we're thinking of starting to mock real estate co-branding. The team this morning wanted to do something with Labubu. I'm not sure if you have seen those collectibles or you have them in your bag.
I've asked my Gen Z team about it, yes.
Exactly. So let's do a Labubu villa. Just like some of the projects that we have currently in the market. They have no relation.
But in 5 years' time, Labubu is not going to be popular anymore. You know,
it's the same way.
It's just a TikTok thing now.
Exactly.
Probably that's a trend.
Just utilizing a sports player, just putting his photo there, it doesn't work.
Right. So you look way more into the details of things, the quality of things, and 100%. How can that celebrity or that
100%
that brand make it timeless? Right?
I'm sure you're reading about that.
Do they approach you?
So now they are approaching us because we've done very successful projects. At the beginning, we were approaching everybody.
And did you ever decline offers?
Yes, we have. Yeah. We were declined and we declined.
Okay. But I see that a lot of the value here also will come towards your marketing team as well, right? At the end of things, because you can coexist. Once you pick the right quality brand to work with, you can coexist and promote the project 100%. On both platforms. And I think one of the biggest values is also how do we market it after? And this is a huge positive, I think, add-on by working with these co-brands.
But believe me when I say marketing will come later.
Like, of course, this is when the project is complete.
It took me 2 years to convince the great engineer Horacio Pagani, who does some of the most selective and expensive cars in the world, and who does only 57 cars every year, that's it, to get into interiors. Then Horacio designed the sofas, the first sofas. He designed them amazing, from titanium. Then he said, listen, if you want to design this project in Dubai, those 80 apartments that you have in Dubai, I need to go sit in that project. I said, but the project is core and shell. I said, don't mind. Get me a mattress.
That's incredible.
He brought in samples, sat on that mattress, 3 days.
In that area.
Selecting samples, seeing what should go on this wall. How can we take the DNA of the car without plastering a car in the living room?
Right.
I will put this one here. How to do the door, how to do the color of the wood of the door. We got into all of those details. We took the DNA of the brand and put it in a living experience. We did not take the car and put it on the wall. No.
It's the details of bringing the leather from the car into the sofas, probably.
100%. And now you find the detailing that you'll find in 3 million euros Pagani. You will find that detailing in the Da Vinci Tower and those apartments that were designed and co-branded by Pagani.
Right. Beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about Trump. Tell me everything that you would like to talk about when it comes to his residential towers that you've constructed in many different countries. We would like to know all the scoop and all the details.
So the venture started a long time ago. So when I was still working for one of the previous companies I used to work for, I had the idea to bring the Trump golf courses into Dubai because Dubai is a golfing destination.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest golf franchises of luxury golf clubs is Trump. They have around 20 golf clubs around the globe. So this is where the idea came in 2012, and I went and I approached the family to come and join in Dubai in the building of a luxury golf club, which is today the Trump International Golf Club.
So you're one of those that shook his hand, met him.
So the discussion was at that time with Ivanka Trump and Eric Trump and Don Jr.
Okay.
They were convinced of the project. We started the design process, and then we built 4 halls and the sales office, and we invited Donald to come and talk about the project.
That's
This
incredible.
was the first time I see the how much people like the brand Trump, because we've done a presentation at that time in Atlantis,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw people queuing for 2 hours to take a photo for Donald Trump.
They're an iconic family, all of them.
And people will tell me that the politics, the president said, guys, leave this aside.
Mm-hmm.
Before Donald Trump became a political figure, he was already a figure of luxury, exclusivity, affluence, and he had a very big following.
Right.
And this is what attracted us in the first place to the brand, because it's a brand of golf.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking at a premium golf brand, which we found in Trump. The design guidelines and the operational guidelines of the Trump golf courses is out of this world. At the same time, we looked at a brand that is about exclusivity. They will not do 10,000 units in a city.
Right.
And all the projects that they have done were in key locations and always affluent design, luxury fittings, attracting that certain type of customer.
Right. Did you have a certain formula that you had to work, since they did have buildings constructed before, such as the ones in America, or were they not involved that much in the construction?
They're heavily involved. They're heavily involved at the design level, at putting the guidelines, and then we start construction, and they will come and audit every once in a while. And once the operation starts, they take over.
Okay. I see.
But I can remember twice walking the golf course in Dubai with Donald Trump. And he is to the level of remove this shrub, move this tree, we'll put the watch here. And that's a person who has a massive amount of responsibilities in other companies.
Of course.
But he is to that detail.
Incredible.
And we used to tell him, it's too hot. What is too hot? Come, let's walk the course. While the course was still being built.
Incredible. So he does see value in investing here in the Middle East.
Yes, this is why he is in Dubai. And then we've done with them another project in Dubai with a lot of traction coming to that project from so many investors from around the globe. We've done a project with them in Oman. We announced a project in Dubai. We launched a project in Jeddah. And we are working to launch projects in Riyadh.
Incredible. Tell me a little bit about the projects that you're planning on developing in Europe, UK, Spain. I saw Marbella is one of your destinations as well. So tell me a little bit about that. I need some Mediterranean in this conversation.
You see, when we decided to build DarGlobal as an entity for luxury real estate development, we said to our shareholders that we're going to have 50% of our projects in the GCC, 50% in international gateway cities between Europe and the US. And our starting point was in south of Spain, because we had a team and I had an experience in south of Spain. So we started by acquiring a project in the south of Spain, because south of Spain was and still is an attraction for especially the cold areas. They come during the winter to that area. And it's a very big attraction for this region during the summertime. So this is why that's the area which was at one time seasonal is now a 12-month 12-month period. And we already launched 2 projects there. And we are working on our mega project in that area. It will be possibly the 3rd biggest project in the history of Spain.
That's incredible.
It's a 4.5 million square meter land, which is an area that overlooks the Mediterranean, overlooks Gibraltar, and overlooks 4 forests.
You can build a whole town there.
We're building a
mini city,
a luxury hotel. We're building an equestrian center. We're building one of the best golf courses in that area, because that area is also a golfing destination. 78 golf courses between Malaga and Soto Grande. And we're going to build one also at a higher level, which with a much bigger area. And imagine we're making 4.5 million square meter and only 500 homes. So it's going to be a very exclusive
Extremely
destination.
exclusive.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful
Yes.
destination. I'm sure it's going to
Our second venture in Europe will be Athens.
Okay.
Athens now is a focus for us. We believe that we can bring in a lot of investors to Athens. We know a lot of investors they want to go there.
Mhm.
So these will be the two main destinations in Europe. I have to say the UK because UK is not any
Right.
part of Europe. So the third area which we are working
The separate entity.
is Central London. Central London will remain for us a focus to find new projects. And we've already announced that we're going after pockets in the US that appeal to international buyers, to our customers, which would maybe some pockets in New York, some pockets in Florida, and some pockets around Los Angeles.
But I suppose you need to use different approaches for all of these regions, if I'm not mistaken.
You are
right?
totally right.
How do you manage all of that?
So in the areas where we have expertise, like the GCC, we are the developers. We manage on our own with our teams.
Mhm.
But when we go to new areas, real estate development is a very local business. So we have the expertise in sales, marketing, development that we can assist local developers with. So we would go to Spain and partner with a local developer. We would go to Athens and partner with a local developer. The same thing in New York, the same thing in Miami. So the first step is, at least for the first 5 to 7 years, partnerships. Then we would have teams in place to decide whether we can continue on our own or continue with the partnerships.
Right, because it's just easier bureaucratically to have a local company there, right?
Real
lead the
estate is
project.
local knowledge, is to identify how the cities are moving, where are the good locations. Once you buy the location, how can you get the permit? And then your knowledge of the engineering consultants, your knowledge and leverage over the contractors of the country. It's very much local.
Where was it easiest to buy a piece of land?
Nowhere.
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 How long does that take approximately?
You see, if
Because developers never talk about the.
I always say that if you are leading a real estate company, you can never be a rational leader. You have to be a kinetic leader.
Right.
Because when you buy a piece of land, the amount of variables that go into that project are infinite. Because you assume that on that piece of land, we're going to build an 80-story tower of 600,000 square feet. And then I can get those setbacks, I can get those relaxation on the balconies. Then you get the concept design approved and you launch. Then you don't know what will be the reaction of the market. Maybe you've done 3 bedrooms that are too big, that you need to make them smaller. Then you're doing the detailed design and applying for the first time for the detailed design for the municipality. And then you say, no, we don't like that structure. We believe this is too risky. We don't like those setbacks. We don't like those facades. And you have to go and find a way to manage that. Then you start construction. What you've assumed is under that land ends up being a bit different. You have a higher water table, which you have to manage.
Right.
Then you hire a contractor. After 3 to 4 months, the contractor is having financial trouble. Then you have to find a way to support. So it's an infinite number of variables, and no two projects are the same.
Right. What would you say is the biggest challenge that has hit the real estate market here in Dubai in the last 2 decades?
You see, definitely what is very well known is that we had the financial meltdown of 2008. Then we had the pandemic. So these are two things that affected the whole area. But we are, some people might call it lucky, but I think the leaders of this area had a lot to do in this one. We're being seen as a safe haven from most of the problems of the world.
Yeah, we're in a golden bubble here.
If you would allow me, I wouldn't call it a bubble, because bubble is always negative.
Okay.
But this was done by design. You know, the way those countries were designed and were governed and were built is to create this environment. We have one of the highest safety factors in the whole world in the GCC. You have this tax-free environment. You have the ease of starting a business and operating a business. We are in one of the most connected regions of the world. If you count the hubs of Dubai and Doha and the upcoming hubs of Abu Dhabi,
Mhm.
Riyadh, and Jeddah, we're the most connected region in the world with the number of flights and the number of connections and the number of cities we fly to. And this is very important for foreigners to decide to move to a certain country or to decide to invest in a certain country. They need the safety and they need the connectivity.
Right.
Without these two, it's very hard to progress.
Right.
Then the taxation will come.
100%. And at the end of the day, whenever all these challenges happen economically, we have our fluctuations in economy. And even if we go down, it means we're going back up again. So I think that return to go back to the normal, and even now the prices became, I think, even higher after COVID when it comes to real estate, it definitely was a positive, let's say, aspect to this entire challenge that we're facing. Now, I want to ask you one more thing. Obviously, competition is extremely high here. What makes you guys different?
You see, in all of the cities that we've entered, not only in Dubai, we have an extreme focus. And our extreme focus is on three elements: shareholders, investors, our people. If what we do does not satisfy the three parties, we don't do it. This extreme focus on satisfaction is our edge. Like this morning, I spent an hour and a half selecting a gift for one of our key clients because I knew that he loves a certain brand of something. I went personally to the shop and got that gift and gave it to our head of customer service to deliver it to that client. And he's one client of 4,000 clients that we have. But this is the level of service that we want to deliver. This is why everybody, especially in Dubai, is making their logos bigger. We just reduced our logo by 1/3. So on our buildings, you will see just a small logo. We stopped any claim that says we're the best.
Yeah, you've mentioned.
I'm just saying we're not the best. We have a journey to always top what we have delivered before. This is what you can rely on from us, which is also very unique in the market. We stopped doing any claims that we are this, we are that. We go and ask the customer. If you're not talking on our behalf, then we failed. Our best communication and advertising
Word of
are our
mouth.
shareholders, investors, and our people. So this complete change of what you usually have in a real estate market is our edge.
Right. And I mean, working with luxury clients is not easy. Your eye for detail has to be constantly working.
But even if we make a mistake, all of us will mobilize to correct that mistake. And we'll tell the client, listen, we made a mistake. Allow us to correct it. And this will always happen.
Are you allowed to speak about the biggest clients that you're working with that are bought?
This is
I
part.
have to try now.
This is part of the privacy that we deliver. Unless that client goes and puts the unit on TikTok, that's his.
That's on him.
That's
on him.
that's
all
on
right.
him
I mean,
or
you know,
her.
I have to try now. So tell me, obviously, one more question. You've been in the industry for so long, but if I were to give you a time machine and you can go all the way back in time, what would you tell that younger version of yourself, you know, with the brain and experience that you have today?
You see, I would have wished that I had the same focus on customer service from the day one I started. Because this is where it makes the biggest difference. Today, marketing is very hard. During my younger years, marketing was
Simpler.
space. We were negotiating with newspapers and televisions, the very few, just to get the space, to get a spot during the news, or to get this advertising in the newspaper on the second page. Today, you're fighting for attention. And no matter how much you can scream, the next day you're forgotten. But if your investors and your people and your shareholders are your ambassadors, talking to similar investors and to similar shareholders, This is what keeps you successful.
Right. And speaking about success, I mean, I've interviewed quite a lot of entrepreneurs in the last couple of years, and success usually to them does equal money, but internally they're not happy. You see a lot of people that have a lot of money, have accomplished a lot in life, but internally they're not happy. What would be your definition of success? Does it equal money?
You see, we are in a capitalist world, and money always equals success. It's very hard to say you are successful if you are leading a corporation if you're not making money. Fortunately or unfortunately, we're not in a place trying to discover a new drug or writing a new code for a program. We work in a commercial company, and the target of the commercial company is to make a profit for its shareholders.
Yeah.
So given that, definitely money is a big form of success. But at the same time, I go back to the legacy that you can leave as the CEO is how many successful people have you graduated in the market? When I go around, for example, in the Dubai market, and I see at least one person who I hired at one time leading a company or a team, I'm very happy. And those are numerous in this market.
This would be the legacy you would like to leave behind.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
One more question for you. Since we are entrepreneur, I have to ask you, you're one of the most prominent, let's say, leaders here in the region. What sort of advice would you give to all those young men and women out there that would love to enter the sector of real estate and potentially have your career path one day?
You see, real estate can never be a hobby. And it's not the place where you would go and say, I want a peace of mind and what do you call this? A work-life balance. And I want to go and meditate and walk the dog at 5:30 every day. Real estate is 007. You have to love it. You have to live
You
it.
have to live it, yeah.
All the time. If your investor is in the market at 3 a.m., just landed and wants to go and have an espresso, you'll have to find an espresso place that is open. You have to pick up that investor and have an espresso with them.
Thankfully, Dubai is very
So
accommodating.
if you have that commitment,
yeah,
please come into real estate. Please come to us, send me your CV, and we would like to have you. We would like to train you. And once you're in, and you enjoy that lifestyle, you will never leave it because you can find a lot of gratitude once a person comes whom you've sold that villa and that person opened the doors of the villa and you see their face. Yeah. You cannot compare it to anything else. This is their house where they live.
Yeah. You're shaping people's lives, literally. This is where they spend how much?
It is
half
part
of their
your
life,
basic needs, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, which is what you were speaking about in the beginning of the interview. Ziad, absolute pleasure speaking to you, honestly.
Thank you. I appreciate
it's a pleasure
your time.
being here, meeting you, and hearing all your insights. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
On the behalf of Entrepreneur and to many more interviews. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.